let's talk about imagining. You are imagining lots of things right now. A lot of things are going on in the world. A lot of things are going on in your life. So you are imagining things, whether you know it or not. So first challenge is to start noticing how you're imagining things. Now, you might find that you imagine by seeing kind of movies playing out in your head. You might tend to imagine a little bit more emotionally, like maybe as you think about future things or as you think about things, you have these feelings that come up associated with it as you're imagining. So people imagine in different ways and they feel that imagination in different ways, but everyone is imagining. Now, right now, a lot of people are imagining a lot of things that are not super good for your health. They're not good for your mental health. They're not good for your nervous system. And by that, I mean, people are imagining plague, pandemic, death, the economy is crashing. We'll never get back to normal. Everything is terrible. All of these imagination, I don't want to say imagined because these problems are real and I want to acknowledge that, but the way that imagining them and imagining consequences is unrealistic. There are a lot of, I hear a lot of people talking about things and saying things that are not really realistic imagery or not really, I'm just gonna call them imaginationings. So hopefully that is an acceptable word to you all. So when you're imaginationing, it is affecting your thoughts and your actions and your feelings. Now, imagining is a thought process, but the more you imagine things, the more thoughts come into your head about it. So have you ever had an imaginary conversation, like you're in the shower and you're like, man, this person said this to me the other day, and like, I would have said this, and you work out all of that imaginary conversation that you had with somebody? Well, guess what? Your nervous system is responding to that imaginary conversation. Your nervous system is responding to the, if it was anger or whatever, the feelings that are coming up in response to that, the nervous system is responding to those feelings. When you have nervous system activation and you have big feelings, then you make different decisions. And so when you are imagining, it is affecting your feelings, it is affecting your actions, it's affecting how you're engaging with the world. So if you find that you are imagining a lot of catastrophes, I'm going to invite you to shift that and start imagining good things happening. And that doesn't have to be realistic. You can imagine, buying 17 mansions on a hill and, that's fine. If you're imagining all of those good things, then your nervous system is responding to good things and you're having the good chemicals and your mood is going to lift and your ability to engage and do things is going to get better. So as you move forward today, pay attention to what you're imagining. Shift away from anxious imagining into hopeful imagining. Shift away from considering all of the terrible things that could happen into considering all of the wonderful things that could happen. When you actively imagine these things, it affects your body, it affects your mood, it affects everything around you. Now that could be that you're just like driving along and imagine cool things, or you might sit down with somebody and you might say, let's talk about when we buy our first mansion on the hill, how are we going to decorate it? What are we going to do? Imaginative play with kids can be really helpful too. Even just breaking out of the box of realism, kids are great at that. And so anytime you can imagine, anytime you can use intentional imaginationing to care for yourself and care for your body, you're going to have big benefits from that. Thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure you like and subscribe here on YouTube. It makes a huge difference and I appreciate it so much. Send me a message, drkarenmcdowell.com/askme, so that I can make a video just for you. Okay, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.